All right, everyone. Sorry about that. This is our second video of our coaching in session series. And the purpose of this video or of this series is to help people with their mind, right? With their mindset and how they're operating. So yesterday we started off our show with talking about what mindset was. And a little bit of recap is mindset is a few things, right? But typically people will sway toward one type of mindset more than the other. Typically, people are either a fixed-minded type of person or they are growth-minded type of person. So if you're on my Instagram, you will see that my last post, so that was going to be on August 4th, 2021, you will notice I posted something that deals with your mindset. And that is going to be related to what makes a fixed-minded person and what makes a growth-minded person, right? And it's just a diagram where you can see left and right, right? Good and bad. And not necessarily is a fixed-minded person bad, right? Because you can be fixed-minded and still be successful, and you can still be a great person. It's just that when you're looking at a growth mindset toward a fixed mindset, which one would you rather have, right? And a fixed-minded person typically is going to operate on a negative side. So if you are having a hard time with something and you're negative about it and you're finding yourself not to be up for the challenge, then you will start to notice that you're a fixed-minded person, right? And nothing wrong with being a fixed-minded person. Again, it's just that you have to understand what type of growth are you looking for in your life. So when it comes to understanding your mindset, you just have to determine where you are and where you want to be, right? So if you are in a place where you're satisfied and you're happy, then great. Keep doing what you're doing. But if you are in a place where you're not really liking what's happening around you, your environment, your world, right? Maybe your job, things like that, right? If you don't like that, leave, right? Change it. And I know sometimes it could be scary, and I know sometimes it can be difficult to want change in your life or to implement change. But in order for you to have the life you want, something has to change. And the first step is the mindset. So that's what we talked about on our video yesterday. It is up on YouTube, Twitch, and on my page on Facebook, Reverend Concepts. So a little bit about me, if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Michael Reardon. I'm a mindset coach here in Austin metro area, Texas. And if you don't know, Austin, Texas is one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. We have a lot of big companies. Tesla just moved here. We have Google, Apple, Amazon. We have it. So if you are an IT professional, web developer, software engineer, if you are in accounting, business, whatever, you can find a job here in Austin, right? It's growing at a tremendous rate. So if you are someplace in the world where maybe your opportunity is a little bit limited, you can change and go someplace where there's more opportunity for you. And a little bit about me, my backstory. I'm actually from Connecticut, right? And growing up, I grew up poor household and maybe not the best lifestyle, but my parents gave me everything they needed to, right? Everything they could. And so when I was going to college, paid through college for, by myself, and I noticed something from when I was a young boy until college. I had a fixed mindset, right? So if I had a failure in my life, that was the limit of my capabilities, right? I failed. There's nothing else I can do. I'm not good at this. I'll never be good, at what I'm doing, right? If there's a challenge, it wasn't meant to be, right? I was a very fixed-minded person until I started to get into college, right? And that's where my mindset started to shift to a growth mindset type of person, right? So sometimes I look back and I say, would I do college again, right? I went all the way and I got my master's degree in education. Would I do college over? And the answer is always yes. I would always do it. Even if I took a different route, I would always go back to college because I know that college was the reason for me attaining a growth mindset, right? And having that growth mindset helped me understand that my failures were an opportunity for me to grow. I can learn anything I wanted to. There was no one who could tell me something and they're like, oh, this is impossible. You can't do this. Well, guess what? I'll do exactly what I want. No one's going to stop me. So with that being said, a growth mindset is going to be your greatest weapon into becoming successful, right? So if you are not living in abundance, if you have a very limited mindset, you have to start to understand, okay, I want an abundance mindset versus a limiting mindset. Because if you think there's not enough success to go around, if you think there's not enough money to fill your pockets, if you think there's not enough, let's say, relationships for one to be yours, you're going to be in a situation where you're always going to think that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, and you won't push past your comfort zone. You'll stay exactly where you are, and you'll be content. How many people do you know who are complacent? Complacent with their life, complacent with their goals? A lot of people, right? How many people do you know from high school are doing the same exact thing? A lot, right? And it's because they become complacent, right? They put something in their mind, or society puts something in your mind, and you keep it there, right? We were talking a little bit about the American dream yesterday, where the American dream says, go to school, work hard, and then maybe you can have a big house with a white picket fence, 2 kids and a dog, right? That's the American dream. And when you'll get 2 weeks off every year, working a 9 to 5. And when you're 65, you get to retire and then die. That's the American dream in a nutshell, right? Not talking about the freedom, all the rights. That is what the American dream is showing people, right? This is what you can have if you work hard, right? And a lot of people, they don't want to work hard. A lot of people will take what they get out of life. So if they're going through life and they say, oh, this happened to me. Okay, well, I'll just wait for my next opportunity, right? So they're waiting constantly, and they're not really pushing themselves to the next level, right? So what's happening, right? What's happening with people in their mindsets where they're saying that this is where I'm going to be and I'm satisfied? Why don't they go past that fixed type of mindset, right? Why don't they go past what someone else told them that is capable or wasn't capable of, right? And it goes to our next topic, or today's topic. And today's topic is talking about the subconscious mind, right? And a lot of people don't understand that the mind is working whether you like it or not, right? Maybe you're watching a movie, your mind is still going away, ticking, ticking, ticking. Hundreds of thousands of thoughts while you're watching that movie. Oh, I got to pay this bill. I got to do this. Let me see what's happening on Instagram. Or look at this reel, this TikTok. Look at this new trend. The brain is very busy. And the brain is going to keep on being busy, up to about 70,000 thoughts a day, right? And we make choices on roughly 10,000 of those thoughts. And some of those thoughts are subconscious, of course. So if you're having all these subconscious thoughts in your day, how can you control them, right? Because we're starting to understand that we don't want to be a fixed-minded type of person. We want to transform into a growth-minded type of person. So how can we have our subconscious mind help us get to our goal? And that's the magic trick. That's the secret that I help all my clients get to and uncover for themselves, because it is not easy, because you can't see it unless someone points it out to you saying, hey, you're doing this. Why are you doing that? Oh, I didn't even realize I was doing that. Okay. Right. So let's start to change it. And what I'm going to say today is just the foundation, the basis for you to understand what a subconscious mind is and how to change it, right? You don't need a coach to walk you through step by step, but you do have to walk through yourself with a piece of paper or some type of thought process where you can identify how you're living your life and how you're operating. Because if you are not having the life you want, something is wrong. Something is not right. But if you're on the path to where you know you can be something, be successful, all right, keep going. But sometimes you get astray, you stop doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then you give up. So that goes into my New Year's resolution talk with the subconscious mind. So New Year's resolution, January 1st, or rather December 31st, you are making a New Year's resolution for yourself, right? And it doesn't matter what type of mindset you are. You could be fixed minds. You could be a fixed-minded person. You could be a growth-minded person. It doesn't matter, right? On December 31st, you are making a New Year's resolution for yourself. Well, what's a common New Year's resolution for people, right? Get in shape, maybe to learn a language, maybe a better paying job, to get into a relationship, right? The list goes on, right? But one of the biggest ones that you can see if you're a gym addict and you're a gym goer is people in their attempts to get in shape, right? So on January 1st, everyone and their mama is in the gym, right? January 1st, all the treadmills are taken. There's no ellipticals. The Stairmasters have a waiting list. Everyone's in the gym January 1st because they have to work off that Thanksgiving food. They have to work off that Christmas food, but they're in the gym. Good, right? That's a good first step. But what's their plan? Well, I'm going to go to the gym 3 to 5 times a week and go on the treadmill a little bit and we'll see what happens, right? Okay, great. Some people get a trainer. They spend $700 to typically $1,000 for a trainer for a few weeks, maybe a month. And they're working, right? They're working and they're like, all right, this is the year that I'm going to get in shape. This is the year where I'm going to accomplish my goals. But something happens in that 2 to 3 month mark, right? All of a sudden, I don't really feel like going to the gym today. I would rather just kind of stay home and maybe relax a little bit. It's got raining outside. Maybe you live someplace where it snows. It's snowing outside. I don't want to go outside. I just got off work. I'm tired. The excuses start to come in, right? So now you're living your life filled with excuses and reasons why you shouldn't do something that you promised yourself on December 31st or January 1st, whenever you promise yourself. You said, I'm going to do this. But why are you not continuing to do it past that 3-month mark? Well, it goes back to our topic today. Our subconscious mind is actually the reason why you are not able to accomplish certain goals in your life. Because your subconscious mind is actually a creation of your habits. So you don't have a habit of going to the gym. You don't have a habit of eating healthy. You don't have a habit of committing to your goals 100%, right? So yeah, you might give in some effort and you have a full tank of motivation on January 1st because you've been psyching yourself up for 2 months saying we're going to go to the gym and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And once you run out of that motivation, it happens around 2 to 3 months when you lose that motivation, you stop. People stop. And motivation is a temporary type of boost, type of fuel, right? It's not permanent. Yeah, you can listen to a motivational podcast. You can listen to your hip hop playlist or any playlist that might get you in the mood to start running and start working out. You can do that, but that's temporary, right? So how can we make it permanent? How can we tell our mind, hey, I want this to be permanent. I want this to be something that I do for a lifetime, not just for a moment. And this is true for anything, right? I'm talking about fitness right now, but it's true for a relationship. It's true for a career, for your hobbies. The list can go on. But right now, the best example I find, the easiest example for people to understand is working out. So the reason why people give up is because their subconscious mind eventually kicks back in to their old habits, saying, hey, working out is not for us. So we're going to stop that, right? We're just going to stay home, watch some Netflix, take it easy. Because we have a very primitive mind, a very primitive brain. And our brain actually is developed to conserve our energy, right? So if you ever, let's say you ran a mile. So you're running a mile, and you almost get to a mile. Let's say you get 80% of the way, and you're so tired, you're winded, and you say, I gotta stop. And you stop, right? That point where you stop is actually 40% of what your body is able to accomplish. So that means you have 60% left in the tank, right? 60% left for you to accomplish your goal and more if you wanted to. But the mind is saying, hey, you're at 40%. That's the max. That's the most I'll give you, right? And why? Maybe you want to know why the brain does that, right? Why does the body do that? And it's a safety mechanism we have. And it's called fight or flight, right? Hey, I'm sure you've heard fight or flight. What does that mean? If you're in a situation where you need to fight for your life or run for your life, your body's going to give you every bit it has. And it's a safety mechanism for the body, right? We as beings, we want to stay alive, right? We will fight for our life. Why do you think so many people are upset about people not taking the COVID vaccine? Do you think it's just because someone said no to them? No. It's because they have it in their minds that if they don't get the vaccine, if someone else doesn't get the vaccine, they're going to die. And as serious as that example is, it's the truth. If someone is causing some type of imminent harm to someone else's self, they're going to fight back, right? Because they're in fear mode. They're in fight or flight mode. Subconscious mind. And it's very easy to manipulate the subconscious mind if you know how to do it. The mainstream media does a really good job at brainwashing your subconscious mind because they tell you the same things over and over and over again. Guess what? If someone tells you that you're dumb every day, guess what you're going to believe? You're dumb. No ifs, ands, or about it. I was a teacher for 5 years. I saw parents do it. And then the kid would say, oh, I can't do that. My mom said I'm not smart enough. My mom said I'm not big enough or tall enough yet. Right? Limiting factors. We have been trained from when we were young to listen. And now when you're older, you can filter out what you listen to and what you do. But the subconscious mind is always going to have your best interest in mind. So how you grew up, your environment plays a role in your subconscious mind. So let's get around to start changing our subconscious mind, right? We want to get in shape. We want to get a better job. We want to get in better relationships. What is the first thing we need to do to our subconscious mind? Well, we have to rewire it, right? We have to train it to when it says no, we say yes. Okay? So when the mind is saying, all right, time to stop, you don't. When the mind's saying rest, you don't. And you train your mind that way. The easiest way to train your subconscious mind to do the opposite of what it says. Because we know, living in our world, we're very safe. We have houses, AC, food on the shelves at the grocery store. And since last year, the toilet paper crisis, everyone has toilet paper too. So we don't have to worry about many things, all right? We don't have to worry about saber-toothed tigers jumping out of the bushes and eating us. We don't have to worry about where our next meal is coming from. What we can do is we can understand, okay, I'm in charge of what comes into my mind and what happens in my life, okay? So understanding that little bit, all right? Become very selective in what you do and who you listen to. Very selective. So that's what I do as a mindset coach, right? I figure out their habits. I say, okay, where are we going, right? What do you do in a day, right? Tell me about your day. Do you watch TV? Do you watch movies? How long do you go to work? Do you like your work? How do you think at work? Etc., right? And the goal is to understand their subconscious mind, to understand their way of thinking. Because I don't look for the things they say, I look for the things they don't say. So if you say something to yourself enough, you will start to believe it. I find this a lot with people who are getting divorces, right? Someone divorces someone for a particular reason, right? So they say, oh, I'm going to divorce this person because of X, Y, and Z reasoning, right? And eventually they believe that's the truth. And even if it wasn't the truth, they're going to say, you know what? This is going to be exactly what I want or what I feel I need, and I'm going to go with it. So they're doing that. And they do up the divorce papers, and when you read everything on the divorce papers, oh, they don't do this, they don't do that. And then another person's like, I don't do this. Yes, I do it. Well, according to me, no. If you tell yourself something enough, you're going to believe it. If someone tells you something enough, you're going to believe it. So with my clients and the people I work with, I can tell them, hey, you can do this. You got this. Keep going. Don't stop. And they don't stop, right? Because they have that little push, that little boost. And eventually their subconscious mind gets rewired, right? The things that they couldn't do, they can do now. The things that they weren't familiar with, they're getting familiar with, right? If there was a challenge, maybe before they might have took a day or two to get it done. Now they're getting it done in an hour, right? Because the goal and the quickest way to success is to understand where you want to be and then finding a way to get there as quick as possible. Because if you're going to stay where you are, right? So let's say you're on ground zero, rock bottom. You just lost your job. You're about to get evicted. Ground zero, right? You got to do something quick. How do we get out of that? How do we get out of our situation and then getting to a better situation? Okay, what needs to be done? And then you find out what needs to be done, and then you try to expedite it. How to make it as quick as possible. Because the quicker you can do it, the quicker you'll get success. The quicker you start to see results. right? So your subconscious mind is just an accumulation of your habits and the environment that was your upbringing, right? So if you grew up in a bad neighborhood, maybe you grew up in the ghetto like I did, and you might have a lot of bad influences from the way people talk, maybe from the way people carry themselves, how they operate. I had to change all that, right? Growing up, my mom would go to the grocery store, spend $300 in food, and or $300 at the grocery store, and we didn't have any food, right? What was she buying? Flavored waters. She was buying like cold cuts and things like that we would have, but then we wouldn't have food 3 days later. $300. Okay, so I'm thinking in my mind, I need to spend $300 in order to have food for 3 days. That's what I learned as a kid. That's what I thought. So when I moved out on my own when I was an adult and I'm going to the grocery store, I was like, I guess I got to find $300 worth of goods, and then I would get $300 worth of goods, and then in a week, I needed to go back to the store. I spent $1,200 a month on groceries. It's ridiculous. So that was a bad habit I learned, right? My environment taught me that, right? And it's not bad parenting. It's just that's what I saw when I was growing up. And as adults, we don't have our parents teaching us and saying, hey, you need to buy this. And some of you do, right? Some of you might still live with mom or dad or whatever, or grandma or grandpa. Nothing wrong with that. But we don't have people shoving their ways down our throats. However, we have mainstream media shoving down their rhetoric down our throats. And it's rewiring our subconscious mind. Last year, pandemic, 2020, they closed down the United States. We're on lockdown. We're on quarantine. There's a virus out. Don't leave the house unless you need groceries or whatever. Guess what people did? Panic. They left the house. Everyone was at the store buying all the toilet paper, all the food. You couldn't go do a regular grocery shopping at any store. There was lines around the building just to get into the grocery store. Panic. People panic. They panicked. How easy was it for the social media, mainstream media to panic a whole nation, right? And I'm not saying that COVID's not a big deal. I'm not saying that people didn't die because of it. What I'm saying is how easy we are manipulated, how easy we are swayed to be fearful or to give up our livelihoods because someone told us to, right? Stay inside. You're not essential. You're not essential. That's what they said. You don't matter. So you can stay inside and let the big boys and girls do their thing. You stay inside and you watch your Netflix, your Hulu, your Amazon Prime, and order your Amazon packages, and we'll give you $600. Right? I'm not wrong there. How many people stayed inside? Too many. Too many people put their lives on hold for a year and a half until they got the vaccine and said, all right, now I'm safe. All of a sudden, they're safe. Doesn't matter what the media says. Doesn't matter about what anyone says. I'm safe. I got the vaccine. I'm good. Right? But now we're coming back full circle again. Doesn't matter if you got the vaccine. Some places are locking down. Australia, Europe. Everyone's inside. You don't leave your house. If you leave your house, you're going to get fined. You're going to get arrested. So what is happening with them, right? People are rebelling. People are like, no. I did my part. I got the vaccine. I stayed inside. I wasn't essential, so I only went out with permission. And now all of a sudden, guess what? They took all that away from them. So now people are rebelling, right? They're like, fight or flight now. See how that's coming back around, fight or flight. Because before they ran and hid, and that didn't work. So they're back behind the corner, or they're backed up to the corner, and they say, I have two choices, to fight or give up. So people are fighting. And the outcome is going to be people are going to wake up eventually, right? People are going to realize their minds do not want to stay where they are, right? Because a lot of people are not happy where they are right now. A lot of people are like, I already locked down. I'm done with that. Ask any American, they're done locked down. Or they are done being locked down. Because cabin fever, right? Cabin fever, typically in 4 days you're feeling it. You're like, I got to get out of here, right? So you get out and you do whatever. It doesn't matter where you go. You just don't want to be inside your house. Even though your house is safe, you got food, heat, electricity, whatever, right? You got everything you need. But it's still not enough because you want something that you can't get at the house, and that's freedom. You want freedom to go about and travel the world and do what you want to do every single day. You want to try new things. You can't do that at the house. I mean, I guess you could. You could change your channel and try different recipe or different TV station. You could do it, but it's different. It's different when someone says you can't leave your house, right? So that negative type of reinforcement, you can't do it. No. How many times have we heard no before? When you're a parent, saying no is something you're very familiar with. You have a young child running around trying to explore the world, and it's your job to keep that child safe. So if they're going to do something very dangerous, something that can harm them substantially, you're going to say no until the child learns that's not a good idea, right? And they might not know the reasoning until they're older, but at least they understand. Don't touch the stove, right? Don't put a knife into an electrical socket, right? They learn. But why, as adults, can't we learn when someone says no to use our own perspective and to use our own understanding of the world if that no is beneficial to us, right? I can't tell you how many times a teacher will say no to a child, meaning you can't do this, you're not smart enough. That type of no. Not you got it wrong, no. You're not good enough, just give up. How many times have you heard a teacher say, you'll never be anything more than you are? That's a big one. Very common, right? The heat of the moment. Teaching is not easy. So if you're a teacher or if you know anyone who's a teacher, it is not an easy job. I did it for 5 years. A lot of hard work, a lot of long nights, very tiring. But they are essential in our children's development, right? To help them grow, to help them become better people. But then we have our school system, right? They know better. A bunch of politicians know what kids need all of a sudden. They're not teachers. Some might be. I know some people on the school boards who were teachers, and they're very effective in what they do. But the majority of people who are on the school boards don't have relevant teaching experience. So the subconscious mind again takes a hit. Now we have people making policies who don't understand how children learn. We have people making policies that don't understand what people really want in their life. Yeah, you want to feel safe, you want to be secure, but you can do that on your own hand, on your own accord, right? Mandates, quarantine, lockdowns, that's forced. So what does that tell you, right? It limits you. So now we go back to our mindset. Fixed mindset. You're going to do this. We can't do this because of this. I can't do this because of this. Fixed mindset. How about if you had a growth mindset? They said I can't do this, but I'm going to do this because that's going to bring me my success. It's different. So start to challenge what people say to you, right? If someone tells you no and it's not pertinent to your goals and to your best life, challenge it, right? There's no harm that's going to come from it, because if you're in a job where someone doesn't appreciate you, they lost you already. You don't need them. They need you, right? Put that in your mind, because if you're in a career, a job, whatever, and you have a growth type of mindset and your boss belittles you, if your boss doesn't recognize your worth, if they take you for granted, go someplace else. There's plenty of people hiring right now. I can't go down the street without seeing a hiring sign everywhere, right? And right now, I know we have the unemployment thing, and for people who are taking advantage of the unemployment thing, I'm not going to shun you. That's a smart move, right? To be able to get $600, and you might work a job where you make $600 or around there, so, right? So if you had the option to work 40 hours a week, or if you had the option to stay home, maybe read, take care of the kids, maybe we'll catch up on some series, okay? Maybe going a little bit too far on the series. You don't need them. But I'm not going to shun you for that. That's a smart move. You're being smart. I don't have to do work, and I get paid the same. That to me, that's a smart move, right? However, if you're not having to go into a physical workplace to work and you're getting paid unemployment, how have you used this year and a half to better yourself? How many books have you read? How many miles have you ran? How many push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups have you done? Can you count? Maybe on one hand, right? And that's the part where we need to get out of that. We need to get out of that fixed type of mindset where this is where we are, this is where we're going to be. Because even if you were locked up and you couldn't go anywhere but your little box, your little cell, you could read, you could write, you could work out, you grow. And there's two types of people, right? There's going to be people who grow, and then there's going to be people who just sit there and rot away. And you have to ask yourself that tough question. Who are you? Who do you want to be? And then start to tweak and start to change what you don't like anymore. And start to say, okay, in order for me to get this in my life, I have to do this. And if you've been doing something that hasn't been working, change it up, pivot. Don't keep doing the same thing. Don't keep hitting your head against the same wall and expecting for something to change, right? Yesterday, I was talking about mindset, growth mindset, fixed mindset again. And I was talking about if you encounter a wall, what do? Right? What is your next course of action if you encounter a wall? Do you turn around, say, oh, this wall is here, it's too tall, I can't climb it, whatever. Maybe you encounter a wall, okay, I'm going to try to climb it, maybe find a ladder, climb the wall. Or do you get a sledgehammer and you break that sucker down? That's the question you should ask yourself again. because it tells you what type of person you are, right? First type, I'll turn away. There's a challenge in front of me. I don't want to deal with it. Second, I'm going to climb over this challenge. I'm going to ignore the challenge, but I'm going to figure out a way around it. The third way, I don't care what's in my way. I'm going to beat it. Two different types of mindsets, two different types of reasoning, or three different types of reasoning that you have to understand. Which one are you, right? Because if you're a person who doesn't accept the challenges, right? You have a challenge, you don't want to have anything to do with it, so you say, you know what? I'm not going to do this challenge. You could pay attention to that, and you could say, okay, the next time I have a challenge, I'm going to do one of the other two. Either I'm going to go over it, ignore it, and go to a new challenge, but then I'm going to make sure I don't skip that challenge. Or are you going to say, I'm going to beat this challenge, right? I'm going to knock through this challenge, and I'm going to be able to accomplish my goal, which is getting to the other side, being successful, being triumphant. It's a mindset. So a lot of the things our bodies do, our subconscious mind takes care of. Our walking, typically our talking, blinking, right? We're sleeping, our food digesting. It's automatic, right? We have a lot of automatic things happening in our life. And before you know it, you start to respond automatically. The best example I have is, hey, how are you doing? What's your response? I'm good. I'm fine. Right? Okay. I guess you're being polite. Maybe you just know how to greet people the common way. But how many times did you say, I'm good to somebody, and you have been in the most dreadful place of your life? Someone inquires, how are you doing? And you lie. I'm good. I'll agree that I've done it. Someone asked me how I was, and I was in a crappy place, crappy mood, crappy everything. And it wasn't until I started to acknowledge my automatic responses and start to change them did my subconscious mind also start to change. So if you ask me how I'm doing, I'm going to say something different, unless I don't like you. If I don't like you, I might say I'm good, right? Or if I don't want to talk, I'll say I'm good, right? It's quick and easy. I'm good. All right. See you later, right? And I'm not saying you need to be someone's therapist. If someone says, having a terrible day, this is a rough day, I'm having a rough day. Oh, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. No, you don't have to do that. Be honest with yourself. Because being good is a Band-Aid. And we don't want Band-Aids. We want solutions, right? You're not going to go to the hospital for a broken arm and they say, all right, well, just don't, use it and just kind of let it hang for a little bit and, it'll probably be all right. Maybe wiggle it a little bit. Probably don't do that, right? Go to the doctor who's going to take care of you, right? Who's going to patch you up the right way. So why are we not patching up our lives? Why are we not patching up the holes, filling up the potholes? Because we have a lot of holes in our mind. We have a lot of holes in the way we have grown, right? Maybe they're trauma. Maybe past circumstances, hardships, challenges made a divot on our highway to success, right? And there's nothing wrong with paving your road every winter. We get potholes because of the ice, right? Water gets into a crack, it expands, the hole gets bigger. Now we have a pothole. Our mind needs the same type of repair constantly. It's not something we can say, all right, I'm in a good place in my life, and you don't do anything about it. I just wrote an article. It's not going to come out until September, But it talks about if you're in a place and you're not satisfied where you are, let's say you're not happy, are you going to stay exactly where you are and hope and wait for happiness to come to you? No. You have to go out and become happy, right? You have to be your own superhero. So you have to start to change your habits. And it all begins with your habits. And one of the best ways I have found to get your day packed with things that are going to serve you rather than anchor you down is to create a schedule, right? And for me, I typically create a schedule for many of my clients because when I ask them to do it, they don't do it. They're like, I don't need a schedule. I go to work Monday through Friday, and I got to pick up my kids from 7 to 8, and then I go to bed. Okay. Thank you for telling me your schedule, right? How many holes are missing? When you eat breakfast, when you eat lunch, when you go to the gym, when you go shopping. Tell me. I want to know. And I write everything down. Every minute of your day, I write it down because I'm trying to get every single second from them saying, hey, I found a way where we can be more efficient. I found a way where we can progress more. And I do that by having a schedule. And they do that. And by having a schedule, they understand I have so much time available to me. Or they notice, hey, I'm actually wasting a crap ton of time doing this and I'm doing that. And I'm not saying that you can't relax. I'm not saying you can't take a break and watch some movies, right? But there's a time and a place. Because if you're not happy where you are, why are you sitting on the sofa after you get out of work? Why are you not finding a way to better yourself? Be it an audiobook, motivational videos, ways to educate yourself, be it more than just a book, maybe from a mentor, a coach, whoever, right? Finding ways to say, okay, now I know I have a little boost, got a little motivation, right? I just finished a video series, started, I believe, in April, and it ended in July. Those were all motivational, inspirational videos. They're on YouTube, right? That's motivation, inspiration. That's temporary. Inspiration typically lasts a little bit longer than motivation. However, it's temporary. How can you motivate yourself every single day? How can you say, all right, today's going to be the best day. Today I'm going to give 100%, right? I don't believe in saying I'm going to give 110%, 120%. Give me 100%, right? Because most people stop at 40%. If you can give me that other 60%, then we're working, right? We got something to work with. So, all in all, your subconscious mind is your habits, right? Your habit of listening to people, your habit of not doing what you need to do. That's what it comes down to. So our first video, our mindset. Our second video, subconscious mind. So what would be the third step, right? Okay, we got our mindset. We got our habits and the way we operate. The third step is our actions. Are we holding ourselves accountable to those actions? Right? And the subconscious mind plays a little bit with that. Our mindset plays a little bit with that. It's kind of like an accumulation of both. Right? Think of when you wake up every morning, right? Your alarm clock rings. What do? A, snooze button. B, ignore it. C, hit it and get up. Or D, maybe all of the above. I don't know. Right? Common, I'm going to hit the snooze button. Then if you can, I'm going to ignore it. And this is where the top, the most successful people who get shit done, I'm going to hit the button and then I'm up. Right? Automatic. No ifs, ands, or buts. My alarm clock rang. I'm up and I'm at it. whatever your schedule is for that day, whether it be the gym, whether it be waking up the kids and getting them ready for school, making breakfast, getting ready for work, doesn't matter. But you did it immediately. Immediately. That is the trick. There's no procrastination. There's no being, I'll put it off till later. There's no saying, I'll do tomorrow. There's right now, right? Train your mind to right now. Your actions, immediate, right? What happened if you were dating someone and you told them, hey, can you make me dinner? I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. Let's add another caveat to that. Let's say you pay all the bills in the household, right? Doesn't matter male or female. You pay the substantial bills for the household. And you ask the other person, hey, can you take out the trash? I'll do it tomorrow. I'm sure you're feeling some type of way. And that is how your success feels. If your success could feel something. You're putting it off when it doesn't have the right to be put off. You shouldn't have to put that off, right? If you're paying the substantial bills in the household and your partner is not doing a damn thing, guess what? You're going to be upset, right? You should be upset that you're not successful. You should be upset you're not living the life you want. You should be upset you're not financially stable or financially free where you can go on vacations on private jets every single day. You should be upset. Especially if that's the life that you want to live, right? Because if you're not living the life that you want, then how are you living? What type are you living? Living in poverty? Are you living in a false dream? Are you living in a fantasy world where, one day could be today. One day could be right now. So start with your mindset. Start and move to your subconscious mind. Understand what your subconscious mind is trying to tell you and sway you to believe and do, and then adjust it accordingly. And the way you adjust it accordingly is with a schedule. Is with definitive plans for your whole entire day and saying, okay, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. And then you go ahead and do it. Okay? So, second episode of Coaching in Session. You can reach me at coachinginsession@gmail.com. Again, my name is Michael Reardon. I'm a mindset coach. Feel free to email me any questions that I can talk about during the show or in a video. If there's a very private or personal question, I won't use it in a video. I will email you personally and give you an answer or a response. Okay? But if you have just a general life question, a general life coaching question, a general mindset question, I would love to hear from you. Again, coachinginsession@gmail.com. So I'm on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram Live currently. So doesn't matter what platform you join me on. Again, if you are late to a show or if you don't have time to watch a show, I'll be streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays guaranteed. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, bonus days. So sometimes I won't have time Tuesdays, Thursdays, depending on clients, depending on how my day is, errands, whatever. But if I do have time, I'm on. Sometimes I might start a little bit after 7, but typically the goal, 7 Central Standard Time, to have a live stream on all those platforms. So again, coachinginsession@gmail.com. Send me an email. I would love to hear from you. This is Michael Reardon signing off on Instagram. Thank you for joining if you joined. And We will be in touch soon. Take care. All right, this is for my YouTube fam, Facebook fam, and my Twitch game fam. All right, so if you are new, if it's your first time here or first time watching the video series, all right, this is our second video of the series. All right, so the first one was our mindset. This one was talking about subconscious mind, and the next one is going to be talking more so about what it takes, right, after that. All right, so the next topic should be tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, is a non-streaming day, but I do believe I have time tomorrow. If I don't, I will resume my stream on Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Same rules apply for all of my Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube people. Coachinginsession@gmail.com. Send me an email with your questions if you want them answered. All right? Until then, stay easy.